Hi everyone, welcome to the channel. So here's what's going on. Well, there's a lot that's going on. Last week we did a Divine Masculine reading. How is he feeling? How's the Divine Masculine feeling for the Divine Feminine? And I feel called this morning to do a reading. How is the Divine Feminine feeling about the Divine Masculine? Not so much with regards to what's going on, romantically or in the partnership, but because there's so much that's coming back up to the surface to be healed as far as growth. I know this is collective. A number of you have reached out to me saying that you're experiencing the same thing. We talked about this on some of the dailies. We talked about this in the Sacred Union Energy update, in the New Moon reading, how there really does seem to be a lot of shifting energy. Okay, so there's a couple of things going on. Number one, you might be wavering back and forth between feeling just overwhelming happiness and love and just in high vibration and motivated for your life, your career, your business, your partnership, whatever it is. And that's because there's a lot of bliss code energy that is streaming onto the planet at this time, a lot of refreshed energy coming into the planet at this time. On the other hand, you might also be feeling at any given moment feelings of grief, sadness, upset, fear, anger, resentment, all the stuff that you thought that you had cleared, especially when it comes to this divine partnership. Feelings of being used, feelings of being manipulated, feeling like you're unappreciated, questioning, doubting your connection, doubting your divine masculine, doubting that there's love there, doubting the connection. Again, all this stuff that you thought that you had already purged and cleared. What I was told by my spirit team is that this is the, this is the residue, the karmic residue, because there is a massive shift that is happening at this time. And I really feel like this is a very pivotal week. What I was told is that the 5D is coming into alignment with the 3D. Now, this energy is going to continue into June. June has been, they're telling me breakthrough month. Really feels like a breakthrough month. And so, especially with the full moon coming up, I think it's next week, June 5th, we also have a lunar eclipse and a solar eclipse in June as well, which are helping to create this massive energy shift. So, there are going to be breakthroughs happening, breakthroughs in your connection, but especially breakthroughs in your soul growth and evolution. When I asked my spirit team what the heck is going on with this energy, because I've been feeling it too, where I've been centered in a place of love and just harmony and balance, and then all of a sudden it's like I'm feeling a lack and doubt and questioning and feeling unappreciated and feeling like, does my divine masculine love me? Do I love my divine masculine? Every question coming up to the surface. That is ego. That is the illusion. And the illusion is very, very dense and strong at this time. I'm going to put a link in the description box below to yesterday's daily energy draw because we talked a little bit about this. Illusion is very strong at this time because there is a shift that is coming. And remember, the past few weeks, we have been getting the Hierophant card. And the Hierophant card the past few weeks has been an ascension card for me. And Spirit has been channeling to me that we're moving into the next phase of ascension. We are up-leveling in our soul growth. That's part of the transformation that's happening. That's part of the shift that's happening. That's part of the breakthrough that is happening. Well, what they said is before you level up in ascension, you have this purge, but it's not so much a purge like the triggers. It's not, and you recognize this too. I'm gonna pause here and retrace a little bit. You recognize this too. Even though you're having triggers, even though you're having these questions and doubts and upsets, even though you're saying, does my divine masculine love me? What is this connection? Am I feeling appreciated? Am I feeling used? What all this stuff that you felt like you had cleared before because you were feeling in a place of empowerment, you were feeling in a place of just love for yourself, love with your divine masculine, love with everyone, the collective, with that unity consciousness. You were feeling that. You were anchored into that. And then all of a sudden this comes in and you're like, wait, what? Well, you're aware now. There's a difference, and I hope you guys can feel the difference between the triggers of before and that intense energy and the awareness that you have now. That's the self-mastery. You know that this is illusion. You know that this is just karma, residual energy of that karma that's coming up to the surface to be cleared. You're aware of your thoughts now. You're not attaching to the thoughts and letting that sink you, so to speak, letting that suffocate you or drown you in the emotion. You're allowing yourself to transmute it. You're allowing yourself to feel it and understand why you're feeling it, which is an important piece to it, and let it go. Release it. That is that self-mastery. That is that understanding of your conscious self. And that is what's necessary, Spirit is saying, to move into the next level of ascension. That self-mastery of your thoughts and of yourself is necessary to move into the next level, because you need to anchor in that understanding and that awareness, that consciousness. So when I say, I want to clarify that. When I say that you're aware now, you're not attaching to it. Yes, you have doubt, and yes, you have questions, and yes, you have lack of faith, and yes, there's stuff about feeling used and manipulated. That's collective too. Feeling used, feeling manipulated, feeling unappreciated. But that is helping you be in your power even more, because that's allowing you to be boundary setting. You're able to set boundaries, know what your needs are, know that those needs aren't being met, and set boundaries for what you do deserve, what you are worthy of, because now you know what you're worthy of, and you know that how to come back into the heart space. You know the difference between illusion and truth. And so you're allowing yourself to feel these things in order to work through them, in order to clear that layer, that residual layer of it. But you're also in a place where you can recognize the illusion. For example, I'm going through this myself. As you guys know, I'm right there along with you on this journey. I'm going through this myself, where some of the old questions. I worked through this a year or two ago, where I questioned, am I just being used? Am I just being manipulated? Does he actually love me for me? Does he actually, feel what I feel? Am I crazy? Is this journey just, whatever it is? Am I making all of this up? Like, just complete self-doubt, having trouble believing in anything, having trouble believing that I can do what I do. And I have complete faith and confidence that I can do what I do now. So, but there's that energy that's coming up, that karma that's coming up, the layers and the triggers that's coming up, that has us questioning. And when I turn into my heart space, I know the truth. I know that that's just illusion. I know that that's just for me to anchor more fully into my power, more fully into my knowing and my faith and my self-love. I know that the rest of this gunk, all that fear, all that doubt, all that lack of faith is just illusion. I know that my divine masculine loves me. I know that I love him. I know that we're coming into the sacred union. But that's the thing too, before you come into the sacred union, it's almost like you have to clear out any remaining energy where you are in that lack of faith and disbelief and questioning and fear. And to do that, you have to honor yourself and cherish yourself and say, is there any piece of this partnership, of this relationship? Is there any piece of myself that is not in alignment with what I want? And that's where you maintain the boundaries, or create a boundary, or express yourself and say, this isn't working for me. Here's where it will work for me. And that's where we are right now, is we are right on the precipice of moving into the next stage of ascension, but we can't go through that doorway. We can't level up until we are centered within, until we are really anchored into that place of understanding, awareness, and self-empowerment. So this is a growth period. And what's happening is, as the 5D and the 3D aligns, and I don't want to say 3D anymore, Spirit's really urging me to say the physical world, because the 3D is where that illusion sits, where that dense energy really is, and we're really shifting out of that. So it really is the physical world versus the third dimensional world, because we are fifth dimensional beings ascending into fifth dimensional beings within a physical world. And so as we are aligning that as we're merging those two worlds, you might be feeling that as well. Again, one minute you might be feeling like you're happy and on top of the world and like everything is aligned and motivated and encouraged and appreciated and just full of love for yourself and others. And other times you might be feeling this fear and uncertainty and doubt and lack. And it feels like you're in between two worlds, and it's because you are. And you're doing a lot of work in the energetic realms, more, Spirit is saying, than you can even imagine. So anytime you're in meditation, anytime you're sleeping in dream state, anytime you are just in that, like in the zone, like if you're driving and you're kind of just like in the zone, you're a multidimensional being, and your consciousness is doing a ton of work energetically. So you are, in essence, between worlds right now. But you're anchoring that in. And the more you clear all of that soul sludge, all of the doubt and the fear and the uncertainty and all that stuff that's still a little bit remaining, all that residual stuff, it's like, you know, when they're doing construction, it's like it's the final dust. It's the final layer of dust that you just have to clean up. That's what this is. And you're just anchoring in. The more you clear that out, the more you anchor in that high vibrational love and harmony and peace within. But it's just that clearing out that's happening. But it's making a lot of us question and doubt. But that questioning and doubting is making us go within and do more of the inner work, go deeper within ourselves. We've been talking about this a lot as well, that ascension really is raising in vibration, raising in dimension, but it's by going deep within. So you go down the spiral within yourself to connect deeper to yourself, connect deeper to source. But that doing that work by digging deep, that is actually how you raise your vibration and how you shift your consciousness to one of a higher dimension. And dimensions are just shifts in consciousness. And so you might be feeling all of this, you know, resentment and pain coming back up to the surface, all the grief that you have experienced either within this partnership, in this incarnation of your relationship. And it's not that you guys are toxic to each other. We say this all the time, but it's what comes up between you guys that creates its own karmic cycle. So as you're clearing out your past life and past heartbreak, either in this incarnation or a past lifetime, as you're clearing out all of your heartbreak and trauma and false beliefs and habits and changing your patterns and mindset, and as your counterpart is doing the same, what's happening is you guys actually create your own karmic cycle. And so that is what has been ending the past 6 months as well. And we're at that pivotal time where we're coming into sacred union, having these reunions where we are building the bridge to more harmony. We're building the bridge to more peace within our partnership, building the bridge to more just love energy within our partnership. And so we just have to clear the way a little bit more, clear the karma that exists that we had created between us. But that's what's happening. And you do that by doing your inner work and saying, okay, where in this partnership, now that I've cleared a lot of my past stuff, where in this partnership am I not holding boundaries? Where in this partnership am I not feeling like I am appreciated? Where am I not appreciating myself enough to have that boundary, to set that boundary, to express what I want and what I need from a partnership? And you have to really be willing to be honest with yourself, be really brutally honest with yourself, and ask yourself the tough questions, and be willing to love yourself enough to let go if it's not the right time. Trust and have faith that this partnership is real. Trust and have faith that your connection, everything that you have felt, is real. Even though it might be difficult right now, that's where you have to go back into your own heart space, block out the interference, block out the noise, dispel the illusions, and come back to your own inner knowing. You can seek out validation from other people, from readers, from friends, even from your divine counterpart, but you know the truth within your heart. Your heart is truth. Your intuition is truth. And nobody, I don't care how good of a psychic they are, I don't care how talented they are, I don't care how good of a friend they are, I don't care how well they know you, no one knows you better than you know yourself. And you have to know yourself well enough to be able to trust yourself and trust your own intuition. You have to be able, that is the key element on this journey. You have to know yourself well enough to be able to listen to your heart, trust your heart, and act from your heart. Because that's the bridge. That is the bridge. We have channeled that from the very beginning. The masculine energy really exists and you hold both within you. So we're talking just in general here. The masculine energy is really in the lower 3 chakras. Feminine energy is really in the higher 3 chakras, and the feminine energy really comes down and brings that higher template down. The masculine grounds that energy, and you meet on the bridge of the heart. That 4th chakra there is the bridge. That's where you manifest. That's where your intuition is. That's where your truth is. That's where you build the sacred union. That's where you know this love exists. And so you really have to have faith in that and trust in that and come back to that. And it can be hard, but that's where your awareness, that's where your self-mastery is, because you have reached this level of consciousness. You have reached this level of awareness where you know what's happening. You recognize the doubt and the fear and the lack of faith and all that stuff, the questioning, and you're like, what is going on? And because you have that level of awareness of what is going on, you can then bring yourself back to the heart space and discern the truth for yourself. And so you know what this partnership is, but this time right now is for continued personal growth, where you can continue to manifest what it is that you want and not settle for any behavior or actions that isn't in alignment with that. It isn't in alignment with what you deserve. So if there's ghosting, if there's ignoring, if there's any feelings of neglect, if there's any feelings that you are not being a priority, ask yourself, number one, where is that coming from? Is that truth? And then you set that boundary for yourself and say, this is my line. I'm not receiving anything less than I deserve. And open yourself up to receiving. Ask yourself, are you blocking love in any way? Is there any fear that's residing within you where you're in a place of self-sabotage, because self-sabotage was huge for these divine counterparts for the past few months? Is there anywhere where you are self-sabotaging, where you are blocking love? And create that boundary as well. Change that pattern for yourself and say, I'm going to have an open heart, but this is what I deserve. Because that is love for yourself. Knowing what you deserve and knowing what you will and will not accept and receive, being open to receiving, but knowing what you won't receive. You won't receive those breadcrumbs. That is love for self. And I keep looking at this high priestess here. This is who you are. You are the priestess. You are the goddess. You are divine feminine energy, and you do not accept less than you deserve. Okay. So I want to get a couple of cards and see how are you actually feeling about your divine masculine at this time. So that's what's going on energetically. There is a huge breakthrough and a shift that's happening. We are leveling up on our ascension journey, but before that, we are just getting rid of all of that residue, all of that, the layers that are still maybe hidden underneath. We're doing a deeper dive into our own personal growth. As we come into the sacred union with our partner, we're just clearing the way. We're continuing to build the bridge. Okay, so let's, and we're going to get a sacred union energy update at the end of the week. Yeah, look, there she is. There you are. What was I just saying? The high priestess here. That is who you are. That is who you are, and you know it. You know it, and you don't want to settle for anything less than you deserve. So how are you feeling about your divine masculine? You know that you are the high priestess here. And you're holding space for him to become the high priest, your counterpart. But does she sit idle? No, look, she's still working. She's still working on herself. She's still building her life. She is still coming into balance within herself with that yin-yang energy here. She is still ascending. You don't hold yourself back for anybody. You don't dim your light for anybody. I don't care who they are. You don't hold yourself back. You let others rise with you. You let others cross that bridge with you. But that's you. You have to be willing to build that bridge yourself. How is Divine Feminine feeling for Divine Masculine at this time? Justice. Yeah. Okay. Okay. All right. Yeah. With the High Priestess here representing you in your power, you in your Divine Feminine energy. And I like this, the High Priestess, rather than the Empress, because the High Priestess really is the embodiment of Divine Feminine energy. The Empress is all the queens. She knows how to stand up for herself. She knows what she deserves. But the High Priestess is the one on the ascension path. It's your higher self. It's your higher self, basically. And you know, your higher self, your soul self, knows where you're heading, knows that you're ascending. And in order to ascend, you know that you're putting in the work, you're doing the growth, and that you can't hold yourself back. You have to continue looking forward. You can't look back, and you can't wait. You can't put your life on hold. You hold space for your counterpart. You hold that love within your heart for your counterpart. But you keep going forward. You keep building your business. You keep shifting in your career, promotion, whatever it is that you're looking for. You keep, if you are wanting to move, then you keep with your plans on moving. You keep enjoying your friendships, your family dynamics. You keep manifesting for your life, because it is your life. And you have to embrace your life and love your life, love yourself, in order for another person to come into alignment with that. That's the bridge. You meet on the bridge of the heart. You are working on yourself. Divine Masculine is working on himself. And that's where you meet. You meet on the bridge. And when they're ready, they will be there on the bridge. So with this, we have justice. This is what you are wanting and craving, and what I'm actually hearing is bringing in balance. You're finding that balance within yourself, you're finding that balance within your life, and you're wanting that balance with your Divine Masculine. You're wanting truth to be brought into your connection here. You're letting down the burdens of this connection. You are taking responsibility for yourself and your life and releasing any feelings of responsibility over your Divine Masculine, because they've got this. This is their own soul growth journey as well. They've got this. And again, as the two counterparts come together, both of you are whole, but your Divine Masculine can't be whole within himself unless he goes through his own journey. Now, I do want to point this out. You guys, where you are, okay, I'm going to link it in the description box below. Where you are on your journey, you guys are basically here. You're coming into reunion, coming into sacred union. This was like your starting point where you had that soul recognition. We talked about this in a couple of videos prior. I'll post the reading in the description box below. And I'm going to, hopefully this week or next week, I'm still working on it, but we're going to do a teaching series on this as well. About sacred union, twin flames, divine partnerships, sacred partners, all that good stuff. What is the journey, ascension, all that stuff. And this was part of it. This was what had been channeled to me. I'm not going to go into it deeply. You can check out the last reading where I had taught this before. So this was your moment of recognition, your point of ascension, where you started the ascension journey. And you and your divine counterpart have sometimes had to go on your own soul growth journeys, but you're part of the same circle, part of the same energy, where you have always been together. And this, you've already reached this halfway point. This, you see how it's the furthest point apart on the circle on your journey? Now you are coming into reunion, and for my collective, for the most part, you guys are here. You see, here and here, this is sacred union. You guys are here where you're coming into more communication. You're coming into more commitment, more harmony, more balance with one another. And it's because of the personal growth, the work that you have done. This is the balance here because of the work that you have done. But Divine Feminines, you were holding the weight of a lot of this connection for a very long time. You were carrying the weight of this connection for a very long time. And you were allowing that. You were allowing that. You were overextending. You were overgiving. You were carrying the burdens of this energetically. And now with your detachment that you've been doing for the past 6 months, 9 months to a year, depends on where you are in your path, you have been releasing that. You have really been pulling back your energy, but it's two things. Number one, you're working in union with your divine counterpart in the energetic realms already. So you pulling back energetically is also divine masculine pulling back so that they can protect you from any tower moments or dark night of the soul or karma clearing that they are going through within their life, within their energetic field, and within their physical environment. So it's protection, it's energetic protection, so that you can maintain that high vibration and balance and peace within yourself, which then helps your divine masculine rise into their balance and peace within themselves. Because Divine Feminines, you really do lead the way energetically. You really are a light for these Divine Masculines. They anchor that into the physical. They take action in the physical and anchor that into the physical, ground that energy. But you really are the connecting force. You really are the light that is guiding them. But you don't have to guide them in the physical. You don't have to guide them and hold their hand and lift them up, because that is just enabling. That is a codependency that you have been releasing over the past however long it's been, wherever you are in your journey. So when you're detaching your energy, which allows Divine Masculine to recognize their energy, that helps them recognize their ability to stand up for themselves, their ability to be strong and in their strength, their ability to be sovereign, their ability to release codependencies and heal themselves. You are releasing this so that they can heal themselves. And there's resistance to that, because it's difficult to face yourself. It's difficult. A lot of these Divine Masculines have been holding on to your energy, but they want to step forward into their strength. But there have been a codependency with you. Even if there have been a codependency with other people, there have been a codependency with you and your energy, where even though they wanted to come forward, because you were almost like lifting them up all the time, they didn't know how to step into that strength themselves, but now they're learning how to do this. And so here with the Moon card, number one, a couple messages coming forth. Number one, they're learning how to follow their own intuition, follow their own light. And you see how I like how there's the masculine and feminine represented here? Learning how to create balance within their own life and within their own self. They're learning how to reach that level of inner peace. And that comes from this truth. That comes from them doing the work and being honest with themselves and being expressive. And that's how they're going to come forward with you. But also with this Moon card, Divine Feminines, you're also saying, not only am I releasing the weight of this connection, not only am I releasing the responsibility, being responsible for myself now, because I know, Divine Masculine, I believe in you and I have faith in you that you can do this, that you can rise. You just have to make that choice. You're also saying, I'm not tolerating anything that is kept hidden anymore. I'm not tolerating emotions that are being kept hidden anymore. I want balance. I want truth. I want the King of Pentacles in his maturity, in his stability, in his groundedness. You're not allowing for anywhere where there is a lack of communication. You're not allowing for ghosting, disappearing, for ignoring, for anywhere where you are not being honored as the Divine Feminine that you are. You are not allowing for these secrets. And secrets don't have to be nefarious. It's just the withholding. It's like the hermit energy. Yes, give each other space. Absolutely. That is necessary for soul growth at any level. Give each other space as necessary. But express that to each other. Respect each other enough to say, I need some time and space to work through XYZ. That's what holding space is all about. It's loving the person while giving them the freedom to be where they are, accept where they are, and do what they need to do for their own personal soul growth. And we're not talking about, I'm going to answer this question because I can hear it from you guys. What do they need to do? Do they need to go to another karmic relationship, or do they need to, imbibe in this addiction as escapism, or do they need to do this kind of behavior, that kind of behavior? Sometimes yes, and that's where the protection energy comes in. But the more you raise in your vibration and the more they raise in their vibration, that falls away. And so it might just mean time away going fishing or camping, or just spending a night on their own, or just like you're with your girlfriends, or maybe they're with their guy friends. It's just time to yourself. It's just giving each other space and time to yourselves. You're still connected and you feel that connection. What's happening prior to this point is you haven't felt the connection, or you have, but it's felt fleeting. That fleeting in and out energy is coming to an end. That's what we talked about when there's more commitment coming in. There's more stability coming in. There's more balance coming in. But you have to put up that boundary of, I'm not going to tolerate the in and out behavior. I'm not going to tolerate the whatever it is. I mean, I'm reading for a general collective, so there's 1,000 situations that are coming in. I'm not going to mention all of them. But whatever it is for you, this is about creating more balance, stability, and healthy security within a connection. Healthy attachment within a connection. Recognizing, we've talked about this before, recognizing that freedom in love is not non-commitment. It's not being monogamous. Freedom in love is allowing each other to feel free in your love, accepting each other, not carrying the weight of the connection for the other. This is a balanced partnership. What I'm hearing is consciously balanced, where you're both giving and receiving. Again, it is the infinity sign. Give and receive, and give and receive, and give and receive. And at times, there's going to be someone who needs to receive more than they're able to give. But that's where the balance comes in as well. The imbalance happens, the scales are unbalanced when someone is constantly giving, and the other person is constantly giving, and there's no reciprocity. There are going to be times in your relationship where someone needs to receive more than they're able to give. But then that becomes balanced out. There was no balance here. There was no reciprocity, and that was unhealthy. Free flow of love. That is what freedom in connection, freedom in love, freedom in partnership and relationship truly is. It's being conscious of your partner, conscientious of your partner, helping to balance out the connection. And so with the moon here, you're not tolerating anywhere where there is a lack of balance with the Justice card, anywhere where you are holding on to the burdens and the responsibility of maintaining this connection, because again, that's that lack of reciprocity, right? You're doing all the work. You're not doing that anymore. And you're no longer tolerating any withholding, any secrets, anywhere where there is not an expression of self or communication, which keeps your relationship or you in the dark. Because Divine Feminines, you live in the light. Divine Feminine energy, it's funny, I just posted this on Instagram and Facebook. It's true, Divine Feminine energy can be very dark, can be very, it's Kalima. It's a very destructive force. But it's dark because you shine the light on that darkness. There can be destruction, but you create from that destruction. Divine Feminine energy, in its true essence, is that light and is that creative energy, that creative life force energy. Divine Feminine energy, especially for the female Divine Feminine energies, but we're not talking gender here, is that creative life force energy. The feminine energy is the one who, it's the womb energy, creating within that womb. Divine feminine energy is very fertile. And when I'm saying the female, you actually birth. You can birth creative projects. You can birth businesses. You can birth, you can be a mother energy in a number of different ways. The nurturing energy, that's divine feminine energy. But for females specifically, you actually birth children. So that's that fertile energy, that's that womb energy, that's that creative life force energy, but that can play out in a number of different ways. Again, I've birthed books, I've birthed businesses. I'm a mother in a number of different ways without being a mother. Because that is my energy. That is who I am. And that was a wound for me. That took a long time for me because that was one of my woundings where I felt like I wasn't a mother and I wouldn't be a mother, and that made me very upset because I didn't know if I wanted actual children, but the fact that I wasn't a mother I thought that was a block in my connection. But I am a mother. I am that motherly energy. Not a mother to my divine masculine. He doesn't need me to be a mother. He needs me to be a partner, and that's what I am to him. But a mother, as far as that's the nurturing energy that I exude, and I embrace that, and I know that, and I birth my books, I birth my businesses, I birth, creative ideas and output. It's that creative life force that lives within you. And so for divine feminines, yes, divine feminine energy can be dark, but that's because you're shining the light on that darkness. And it can also be destructive, but you're destroying anything that doesn't serve you, anything that doesn't serve your high priestess energy, in order to create new, in order to create high vibrational energy. So I hope that makes sense. Okay. I also want to say, because it reminded me of this too, how I mentioned in that post, divine feminine energy is also the phoenix energy, where she destroys herself over and over and over again to be reborn into the new. That's that creative life force energy as well. And when I say destroys herself, I don't mean like in the physical. I don't mean like that. I just mean willing to let go of the old versions of herself in order to rebirth herself into the highest version of herself, into this high priestess energy. And so divine masculines, they hold the feminine energy within them as well. And as they tap more and balance out that energy within them, they're going to start experiencing that and recognizing not just the destruction, but the creation aspect of them as well. Okay, let's get another layer. Yeah, I saw this on the bottom of the deck, the Page of Cups, the Eight of Pentacles, and there's that King of Pentacles again. Yeah, okay, so how's divine feminine feeling about the divine masculine? She sees the sincerity within him. She sees the love within him. She sees that he does want to come forward with this offer, but she also knows that he needs to put in the effort, because right now he's just a page and he needs to mature to the king. And not only that, but he needs to make it real. Because he needs to put something real behind the emotion. Or conversely, he needs to put emotion behind what's real. So take it as it resonates for you. But there needs to be effort put in. She needs to see effort. She needs to see that he's letting go of his pride with the peacock here. I've never noticed the peacock here. He needs to let go of his pride and put in some effort, put in some work into this connection. Not that she needs him to prove, because that's a condition. She doesn't need him to prove anything, but she needs that balance. She needs that reciprocity. She wants to see that with the emotion that she's feeling within herself, that she's trusting within herself, the love that's coming in, she wants to see that in the tangible and the physical. Excuse me. It's like like we were saying, the 5D merging into the physical. She wants to see that in a mature way. She wants to see him taking action and really coming forth with this just very grounded, mature, balanced energy with this King of Pentacles here. It's almost like it's balance. It's balance between the emotion and the physical. It's like words can be empty unless there are actions behind it, and actions can be empty unless there's emotion behind it. So it's the balance between the two. That's what she's needing. She's needing that justice. She's needing that balance. What else is going on? What else is going on? I feel like there's, it just feels so tired. Okay, so there's been conflict within the connection. Possibly misunderstandings, possibly lack of communication, withdrawing, that Hermit energy. I did see the Hermit at the bottom of the deck before. It's that Hermit energy. And Divine Feminine has been seeing this conflict within the connection stemming from this lack of balance. And I feel like it's very tired. And she wants to move on from that. She's trying to manifest a new beginning, a balanced, a stable new beginning. Yeah. A balanced new beginning. Anything else you have to say about this? Yeah. She wants an end to the conflict, and she wants to come into union. If you guys know, Three of Cups is my union card because it's the Trinity energy here. It's the two cups being offered to each other with the third as source energy, pouring the two cups into the third so that you're merging the energies here. She wants this union. She wants a celebration. She wants to be in harmony with her counterpart. She wants to be in harmony with the Divine Masculine. She wants to put an end to the conflict. She's trying to manifest that, but I feel like Divine Feminine is still in this energy of doubt. She's like, well, he's not the king. He's not showing up as the king in this mature energy. He's showing up in this childish energy. Usually the page has a sense of innocence and freshness for me, but now it has a sense of childishness. Divine Masculine could be younger than you, but it feels like a little bit more immature. And I feel like she's ready for him to be king. She's ready for him to be king. And I feel like that's what's causing some conflict. It's this maturity level. You guys just aren't on the same page. You aren't on the same vibration. Okay, I want to ask, what will get you on the same page? What would get you on the same page? What would get these counterparts on the same page here? I'm going to use a different deck here. What would actually get these counterparts on the same page? And I feel like you both are feeling like you're not on the same page. I don't feel like this is just Divine Feminine, though Divine Feminine is really feeling it. But let's get, Spirit, what would get these two counterparts on the same page? Yeah. Movement. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. What would get you guys on the same page is movement with the Chariot. Some action being taken towards reconciliation and reunion. But it's not just that. It's balance and stability. Again, with the Pentacles. Look, you have the Pentacles here, and then you have the Knight of Cups here. You have the Page of Cups here, the Cups and the Pentacles. This balance and stability with an expression of love. You want your Divine Masculine to be their best version of themselves. You see that within them. You've always seen that within them. And I feel like part of the conflict and part of the frustration is you see them repeating old patterns and habits, and that's what you have to release, Divine Feminines. That's what you have to let go of. You have to let go of doing the work for them, or any frustration or resentment that makes you feel like they're not doing the work, because that's the illusion. Remember, divine masculine is doing the work, and you might not see them investing in the physical, but energetically they are investing. Energetically they are going through this transformation. You just might not be able to see it yet. With the moon card there, it might not just be revealed, but there's huge breakthroughs and transformations that have been happening from the new moon in Scorpio, and that's going to be moving into the full moon coming in, I think it's next week. This is a huge period of soul growth. A huge period of soul growth right now within these next few weeks. So you want more balance, you want more stability, you want your divine masculine to feel balanced and stable, and you want them to come forward with this expression of love, with this expression of self. And expression of love doesn't have to be a declaration of I'm in love with you, but you just want honesty. You just want sincerity. You don't want games anymore. That's part of the stability here. This is maturity. You don't want any of the back and forth. You want someone who is able to take charge. And that's what will get you on the same page. It's honest communication, sincere communication, coming from a place where you're able to take charge of yourself, balance out that energy within yourself, and be in a place where you are stable and independent and secure. And independence meaning where you are sovereign, where you're recognizing your divinity and power within, and standing in that strength, standing in that power. And because you're standing in that strength and that power, you're able to express yourself more openly for this reunion, this reconciliation here. Offering, and you see how he's offering to her? Offering honesty and communication and openness, vulnerability. Taking charge, action is what will get you guys on the same page here. And with the Page of Swords on the bottom, no more hiding, no more again, no more secrets here. No more secrets, no more holding back, no more withdrawing, no more checking out social media or just, spying on each other. You want open communication. That is what is going to shift this connection forward. That is what's going to shift you both into the next phase of ascension. And into this sacred partnership. Yeah. Healing energy here as well. All right. Let me get a romance angel for how you're feeling about divine masculine. It was a lot of current energy here, but I felt like we needed some clarity for the divine feminine as far as how are you feeling and what is going on. So, how is divine feminine feeling towards divine masculine? How's divine feminine feeling towards divine masculine? Whoa. We have give your relationship a chance and getting to know each other. Yeah, I feel it's interesting. And reconciliation. What was I just saying about the Six of Cups here? I feel like when you're in that energy of just that love and that unconditional love, that's that knowing, that's that faith that you have in this connection. You're willing to give it a chance. You're willing to reconcile again. It's just the lack of faith and the doubt, and it's because the lack of reciprocity. That's what it comes down to. It's a complete imbalance within this connection, and that causes a lot of faith or lack of faith and doubt and questioning and fear to come up. But the more you clear that out, again, this is really allowing you to dive deeper and set up those boundaries for yourself. What is it that you do deserve, and to maintain that for yourself. The more you're in that, you clear that, and the more you're in a place of love and self-love, the more you can recognize what this connection is and how you truly do feel, that you truly do love your divine masculine, that you truly do want to reconcile. Oh, and look, very soon. That you truly do want to reconcile and give this another shot. Because what's actually happening here is you are, again, letting go of the karma that came up between you two guys, that was created between you guys. You are really moving not just into the next phase of ascension, but the next phase of your relationship. But you both have to let go of any resistance, let go of any patterns that have been holding you back, let go of any fears and self-sabotage energy, and go deep within and recognize where you are self-sabotaging. Ask yourself, what do you really want? Be honest with yourself. Be brutally honest. What do I want? When I did this, even among the fears and the uncertainty and the doubt the past few days, I know I want my divine masculine. I know I love my divine masculine. I know that I will always want to give this a chance, not at the sacrifice of myself. I will always maintain those boundaries, but I know deep in my heart that is my truth. That I love my divine masculine and will always want this relationship and partnership with him. I will always want to give this a chance, but you guys have to meet on the same page, and that balance and that harmony has to come in, and that effort has to be made. You both have to be willing to give this a chance, to work on your partnership together, that effort to be put into it. And as you do this, as you express yourself to each other, really honoring yourself to each other, not holding yourselves back out of fear of rejection, out of fear of abandonment, out of fear of neglect, out of fear of the past repeating itself. Once you remove that, that's when your bond deepens, by honest and open communication, by being truly intimate with one another. And we've been talking about intimacy for the past few weeks. And it was on today's daily energy draw as well, so make sure that you check that out. Being really open with each other, being really emotionally available and intimate, and not blocking yourself off, because that's just self-sabotage based on old patterns and beliefs. And so I feel like, Divine Feminine, you really are willing to put the past in the past and start fresh, but I feel like you need something. You feel like you need something. You feel like you don't want to carry the weight of this yourself. And so I feel like, Divine Feminines, this is a chance for you to get to know yourself better, for you to go within and say, okay, where can I continue to grow? Where can I continue to clear any fears and any lack of faith? Where can I continue to go deep within myself and align with myself? Because as I align with myself and appreciate myself, then I'll come into alignment with my partner. And I do want to say, if it's not your partner, if it's not your divine masculine, you are calling in a soulmate. And I don't want that to trigger anybody, but we've been talking about that for the past few months, where some of you are actually calling in soulmates. And that's fine, because that's love too. You know, the label's just a label. It is love. And so you calling in a soulmate, you're not doing it out of resentment. You're not doing it out of, well, my divine masculine isn't ready, so I'm just going to call in a soulmate. You're calling it in because that is what your heart desires. So if it's resonating, if it's triggering you, it's not meant for you. If it's resonating with you, it's what your heart desires, and that's what you're moving to. You're actually calling in your soulmate. So don't be afraid of that. Okay, let's end with a message. Divine Feminine, what do you want to say to your divine masculine? I'm going to take all of that. Divine Feminine, what do you want to say to your divine masculine? I didn't mean to let you go. Yeah, you guys want to give this a chance. You don't really want to walk away from your divine counterpart, but you're doing it for you. You're doing it because of your worth and your value and your boundaries. You don't want to let them go, but you recognize that that's part of the process. And that's okay. That's okay, because what is meant for you will always be meant for you. Remember that. What is meant for you will always be meant for you. And especially for these sacred partners, it will come back around. You just have to release any of that attachment, any of the fear, any of the weight, anywhere where you're holding on, to allow the love to flow. And you're my lighthouse, guiding me to shore. Oh, you're each other's lighthouse. You really are. You are each other's light. Because you are one with each other, and you both recognize that. It's just all the illusion and all the 3D stuff that gets in the way. Yeah, and I love you. What do you want to say to your divine masculine? But that there is still love here. All right, you guys. If you're going through this energy, hang in there. Hang in there. Because, again, this is a period of immense growth that is leading you into the next phase. It's breaking you through to the next phase of your personal journey, your personal soul growth journey, helping you to expand in love by clearing out all that soul gunk and all that soul sludge. And it's helping you come into alignment with your partner, because your partner really is investing in this as well. Your partner really is going through transformation and breakthroughs as well. And we'll be back with a Sacred Union Energy update to look deeper into the connection itself and what's going on with the Divine Masculine, what's going on with the Divine Feminine, and how you're relating to each other. So stay tuned for that on the channel coming up. All right, you guys, I'm sending you so much love, so much light, and we'll see you soon. Bye.